Hello, have you heard of car sharing? Car sharing organizes the usage of vehicles over a pool of drivers, which forms the core business of ZipCar. In this video, we will recommend a local firm which adopts ZipCar's model in Singapore for funding. Why would Singapore be a good market for car sharing? Cost of car ownership in Singapore is steadily climbing, skyrocketing beyond the reach of the average Singaporean. There are many costs to be considered, such as initial costs including the much debated cost of COE, which now exceeds the price of some vehicles themselves, and subsequent costs like parking charges and depreciation, which naturally reduces a car's intrinsic value. It is becoming tougher for the average Singaporean to own a set of wheels in Singapore, and drivers will be forced to rethink ownership. Limitations on ownership creates a void in the demand for affordable private car access, which can be filled by car sharing. The industry for car sharing is moderately competitive with a few dominant players. The biggest competitor would be Cars Club, which is Singapore's largest and oldest. ZipCar comes next in size, followed by Smurf, which differentiates itself by providing electric cars, and finally iCars Club, who are potential customers we can tap on. We have segmented them into the following demographics: university students, housewives, young working adults, and retirees. To streamline our marketing strategy, it would be most beneficial to target young working professionals. Why is this so? They form the most sizable segment with greatest expected growth as car ownership costs continue to increase. Working adults are easy to reach since they are technologically savvy and can deftly manage reservations via mobile or web applications. These millennials have a heightened sense of environmental consciousness and would lower their carbon footprint compatible with corporate goals. The business should position itself to provide affordable car usage that is value for money under a flexible usage scheme which potentially eliminates parking fees with convenience and that differentiates through improving the sharing model to maximize car utility and reduce carbon footprint. Key activities include car rental and operational leasing of vehicles, while the key resources to be leveraged on are the cars and the vehicle management system, web and mobile-based IT systems, and the designated parking lots. Value is also added from a good working partnership with the automobile lessor supplying the fleet, and web and mobile technology providers who sustain the systems. In the line of car sharing, value for members is developed through quality mobile and web technical interfaces that are easily navigated and also reliable customer support. The pilot car sharing service will operate using the internal network of designated parking lots at residential estates, the central business district, and selected malls for the target customer segment of young working professionals. Finally, looking at cost structure, we note that there are low overheads and cost management depends heavily on the high variable and fixed costs, mainly attributing to the fleet inventory. Under revenue, the service is charged at a rate with respect to time and mileage, priced via a cost plus with an appropriate markup alongside members' fees to maximize returns. This model analyzes the value creation process for stakeholders, linking it to financial sustainability. The business should consider positioning based on the proposed values of convenience, which is measured by the accessibility of cars and designated parking lots to members, and value for money, with respect to competitors, measured by considering the cost and quality of the service provided. This business differentiates itself further from its competitors on the dimension of convenience, and ranks relatively high on the value for money front. Under product configuration, for a start, 20 cars will be leased comprising the following models of hatchbacks and sedans, due to their popularity among car users for their aesthetic appeal and space economy, with 4 cars from each model. How does the car sharing service work? The first step is reservation. Upon registration as a member, a membership card will be issued to the member. He is then eligible to reserve a car via the web or mobile. Reservation applications will be approved via email. Next is usage. After reservation approval, the member may retrieve the car from the car park. He will scan the card on the car door to unlock it. Charging for usage commences from the clock-in time. The car keys will be found in vehicle to drive the vehicle off. Once he reaches his destination, parks the car in the designated car space, stows the car keys, and taps out, the company stops charging. The member is billed for the collated services consumed at the end of each month. Lastly, in order to maximize vehicle utility, there are 2 different types of reservations: green tab and orange tab reservations. Green tab reservations allow users to park their cars at any designated lots in the network, while orange tabs require users to park their cars back at the lot which they first rented the car from. Tab colors are shown in company records to facilitate reservation approval. The network of designated parking lots will be located in residential estates of Bedok, Hougang, Woodlands and Jurong West, as they have the highest residential densities in Singapore. It will also target areas where young working professionals will patronize, such as the Central Business District, as well as the malls of Iron Orchard and Suntec City. The bulk of the business revenue comes from usage fees charged, with the rest arising from membership fees. In the first year, the total predicted revenue would be $500,000. Matching expenses can be classified into four main sources, namely fleet costs, sales and advertising costs, lots rental costs, and administrative and utility costs. For the first year, total cost incurred would be $590,000. The firm is forecasted to break even by the second year. Break-even sales and quantity in the second year is approximately $330,000 and 42,580 hours respectively. Currently, the firm hopes to maximize vehicle utility since it is in line with the company's commitment to behave ethically and environmentally responsibly while improving the quality of life for society in general. The carbon footprint is estimated at 96 metric tons in the first year and 127 metric tons in year 2. To reduce the carbon footprint, we introduce Toyota Prius, Honda Civic Hybrid, and electric cars into our company in the 5th year, since it requires a large amount of capital and time to observe the market reception and trends to car sharing. How much funding is required? Based on the firm's revenue and expenses, it would require $1.2 million funding in the first 2 years to enable it to break even sometime in the second year. In return, you would obtain 80% of the shares in the firm and qualify for the option for the firm to buy back your shares after it is profitable. This would be capped at a maximum of 20%. This funding will be used as follows. The bulk of it would be used to cover car leasing costs, followed by parking lease costs, fuel costs, and other fixed costs. The timeline explains the action plan of the business as follows. Currently, we are at the fund sourcing stage. Rental of office facilities and sourcing for technology developers will be undertaken in the first month. Purchase of the 20 cars and leasing of 20 car park lots will be done in the second month. Marketing campaign will roll out in the third month, and the project will be launched in the fourth month. There will be regular reviews of monthly progress, and by the second year after the launch, the project should succeed in breaking even. By investing in the firm, the various stakeholders will enjoy the following benefits. Society and the government will merit from the easing of traffic congestion and parking conditions. General society would also enjoy improved air quality with a reduction in harmful vehicle emissions. Customers can enjoy a more convenient alternative that is value for money as compared to car ownership. Owners of the firm will be able to use the funds for the sustainable growth of the company and receive dividends at the end of year 6. As investors, you can obtain shareholder stake in the company and receive high returns for your investment through dividend payouts at the end of year 6. In conclusion, the differentiated business strategy proposes a unique and value-added concept of car sharing, which we predict will be widely successful with the identified target market while satisfying corporate, social, and environmental responsibility. We therefore reiterate our position in recommending the business for funding because there is reasonable expectation that it would be a financially and environmentally sustainable model.